This is arguably the most important secret ingredient for getting a first-class dissertation, and no one talks about it. It's part of your supervisor's job to give you suggestions on areas of research which you could focus on during your dissertation. Most people choose to ignore these suggestions and choose the area that they find most interesting. That's totally cool. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. After all, you're going to be doing this for multiple months, so you do have to enjoy it. However, if you want to get a top grade, for example, my goal for my master's thesis was to get a distinction and hopefully to get published, then your dissertation has to contribute novel findings to the field you're researching in. If you're really taking your research seriously, who do you think has a better idea on what is the best area to focus on? You, who has 1 to 3 years of experience studying your subject, or your supervisor, who has between 10 to 30 years studying your subject? Let your supervisor choose the arena for you to play in. I'm not saying let them choose the question. I'm just saying to let them tell you where to focus your research attention. They've got decades of experience in this field. They will know where the gaps are and where the future research is most promising. Use their knowledge and experience. Which leads me on to my next secret. Secret number 2. Spend at least 1 day researching the arena before deciding your question. At least 1 day reading as much as possible about your specific arena. Try find 1 or 2 well-cited review papers published in the last 5 years, and try to find 5 to 10 published studies in the last 5 to 10 years. This is going to give you an overview of what the pressing questions are in the field you're going to do your dissertation in. The purpose is to give you a bird's eye view, so that you can choose a research question which answers a genuinely novel question which hasn't been asked before. That way, if you're right about your question and you find something new, you know that this is a genuinely novel contribution to your field, and it's way more likely to get a good grade and even get published. In order to find your question, you need to critically evaluate the studies and theories you're reading about. So what does first-class evaluation look like? Well, that's secret number 3. Secret number 3, critically evaluate experimental design. I'm definitely going to do a separate video on this because it deserves to be explored in more depth, but for now, here's a quick overview. Scientific studies can be evaluated within a framework of reliability and validity. These two things sound very similar, but they're actually quite different, and they each provide you with opportunities to critique published studies and therefore find opportunity areas for future research. What is reliability? Well, we all know what it means if we talk about a friend being reliable or not. If my mate is reliable, then I know they're going to show up when they say they will. In contrast, if they're unreliable, then whether or not they will turn up is unknown. It's kind of similar with research. It's about consistent results. If an experimental task can produce consistent results across multiple different people, this is known as inter-rater reliability. And if an experimental task can produce consistent results over a long period of time, this is known as test-retest reliability. If the study or review you're reading suggests that a specific experimental task is inconsistent between subjects or over time, and this is the dominating task used in the field, then this unreliability may provide an opportunity for your research dissertation. Meanwhile, what is validity? Using the friend example doesn't really work here because all my friends are valid, they all exist. But if I was to have an imaginary friend, this imaginary friend would be invalid because it's not true that they exist. Validity is about how true something is. In research, this means, does the experiment actually measure what it says it's measuring? Experimental validity can be broken into internal validity, construct validity, and ecological validity. If you want to know the difference between these 3 things, then I'll be putting out a video soon on how to evaluate research papers like a PhD student. Leave a comment if you want that video. For now, all you need to know is that if you're reading a paper and you're questioning whether the experimenters are actually measuring what they say they are, then it's likely that the study may have weak validity. Scientists are polite folk, so we wouldn't say a study is invalid because this would be very rude. Instead, studies are described as having strong validity or weak validity. Secret number 4. Critically evaluate scientific theories. There are many different metrics you can evaluate a theory on. A theory can have descriptive value, explanatory value, empirical validity, testable concepts, comprehensiveness, parsimony, heuristic value, and practical value. And there can be strong or weak performance across all of these metrics. For example, Darwin's theory of evolution has powerful explanatory value, comprehensiveness, and testable concepts. Any of these criteria present opportunities for you to find weaknesses in the presiding theories in your research area, and therefore these criteria present potential opportunities for you to find unanswered questions that you could seek to answer in your research thesis or dissertation. Secret number 5. The better the question, the better the supervisor. Like I said at the start, most students completing their dissertation will choose a question that they find interesting without listening to their supervisor's suggestions or without doing any research. So for supervisors, this means that the majority of their students are guaranteeing from the start that they are not working on potentially publishable work. However, if you have listened to your supervisor and you have done your research before picking the question, then you are likely to be working on potentially publishable work. This is so key. Supervisors are professional researchers whose main incentive is to publish as many papers as possible. If you can help them achieve their goal of publishing, then of course they're going to be more engaged and involved with your dissertation and more helpful towards you getting a really good mark. This is not to say that you are guaranteed to get published using this framework, but it's just to say that the more help and guidance you get from your supervisor, the more likely you are to get a good grade. After all, they're going to be one of the people who are marking your dissertation at the end. So if they see that you fully engage with the scientific process from the start, then of course they're going to be leaning towards giving you a better mark. Secret number 6. Learn a skill no matter what. So long as you learn a new skill from the dissertation topic you choose to do, then you cannot fail. This might be learning a new style of qualitative research, it might be computational modelling, or how to do a meta-analysis. But so long as you pick a research topic that is going to allow you to learn a new skill, then you know that you are going to have a more valuable skill set by the end of your research project in comparison to where you started. For me, this was computational modelling. I had a strong background in mathematics, but not much programming experience, and I thought the master's dissertation was a great opportunity for me to learn the skill of programming. This was probably the single best decision I made during my whole master's. It pushed me, it stretched me, and coming out the other side, I truly felt like I had learned something new, which I can take with me wherever I go. So learn a new skill during your dissertation, and don't let anyone tell you that you can't. And that's the secret formula to a first-class research topic. To sum up, secret number 1, let your supervisor choose the arena. Secret number 2, spend one day researching the arena before deciding your question. At least one day. Secret number 3, critically evaluate experimental design. Number 4, evaluate scientific theory. Number 5, the better the question, the better the supervisor. And number 6, learn a skill no matter what. Alright, see you soon.